Once again, welcome to FTGFX Lounge. Now, in the FTGFX Lounge, what we do is we have one-on-one conversation with financial market traders. So it could be a crypto market trader, Forex market trader, financial market traders. It could be pro traders, amateur traders, and people who are willing to also learn and they know how to trade the financial markets easily, safely, and profitably. Now, in this episode, this is our second episode. In this episode, we're going to have a conversation with the Marshall trader. Okay, he goes by the name Marshall Trader, and he comes from France. He was able to grow $1,000 in 6 months, from $1,000 to $20,000. And then he blew all in the 7th month. And then he started again with $500, which he was able to grow it to $300,000. This is the kind of person we're going to have a conversation with. So stay tuned and get ready to learn a lot. Ciao.
I think this is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Great. I'm sorry we have to retake everything all over again.
It's okay. We just started. No problem at all.
Exactly. So first of all, welcome to FTGFX Lounge. Now, in the FTGFX Lounge, what we do is we have interview session or conversation. I normally call it a conversation because it's not a one-way thing. You know, we have a conversation about the Forex market, your journey, some of the challenges you had, your success, where you are now, some of the strategies you use, what's made the change, like all of those things. So in this lounge, basically that is what we do here, okay? But FTGFX is the short form of Forex Trading in Ghana. Now, Forex Trading in Ghana, what we normally do is we put out good quality tutorial videos on YouTube and other platforms. We also trade for people sometimes, not always, and then we provide signals. But our main focus is on training people who are willing to learn and trade the Forex market successfully. So once again, we are privileged to have you in the lounge.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Marshall Trader. So Marshall Trader, would you first of all, have you been in the military before? Like your name, Marshall?
No, it comes from the martial art. I've done a lot of martial arts since I was 5 years old. Started with judo, kickboxing, many years of kung fu, and throughout my trading journey, I was using a lot of examples. That's why my name became Marshall Trader.
Okay, that's interesting. Why? Quick one. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I was born and raised in France. I'm originally from Morocco. So my parents immigrated when they were young to France. And I grew up with my six siblings. We are 7 brothers and sisters. We grew up in some kind of humble background, I would say. And my father was working in a factory. My mom was taking care of her 7 children. And growing up,
your mom. Hold on. You were born in France.
Yeah.
And raised up in Morocco.
No, I was born and raised in France. My parents are from Morocco. We used to go there in the summer. But I spent the first part of my life in France.
Okay, I now get it.
So, yeah. It was not easy, but we stuck up to studies. Our parents were pushing us a lot to do studies. And basically, the only thing that the older generation knew was to push us to do good studies, to have good jobs, to get out of this situation. So that's why, in the family we have doctors, lawyers, engineers. And I went through this path as well to become a doctor. So I studied medicine. And after 2 years, I just hated it. I realized it wasn't for me. The doctors that you were meeting, that you were seeing, were not driving good cars. They had a lot of stress. You always had somebody above you to teach you your job and be condescending towards you. So I dropped out of medicine. So my parents were definitely not happy about it. But this is where I switched to finance, because I realized this is where the money was. And I could have a greater impact to my family, towards my community, by studying finance rather than becoming a doctor. So I went to study business and finance.
Okay.
And,
In which, or in France? You did all in France?
In France. At the beginning in France, yeah. But because I chose as well international studies, I went for 6 months in Argentina. So I studied in Argentina as well, and I learned Spanish there. And then I studied in the UK for 2 years, where I had my bachelor master's degree. And this
in
is
finance.
where
In finance.
Yeah. Bachelor in international business and masters in finance. Yeah.
Okay. Then you must have started schooling very early for you to complete the medical school, practice for a while, and then stop, and then start all over again, going to the business school and the finance school.
Yeah, to be honest, I was quite good at school, so I jumped a class when I was young. So I finished my A-level when I was 16 years old instead of 18. So I've done my 2 years of medicine when I was 16 and 17. And when I dropped, I was not even 18 years old. I was just 18 when I started the business school. So the 4 years of business school, I finished when I was 22, 23 years old.
Wow. Then I think the schooling system is a bit different from what we have in Ghana, because in Ghana, for you to complete a medical school, but then it should be around it should be in around your mid-20s, because you finish
the same
junior basic school. You will complete that in Ghana. You should complete that around 15 years. The secondary school, you should complete that around maybe 18, 19. And then in the medical school, they spend around 7 years there. So by the time you complete the medical school in Ghana, you should be around 26. Yeah, 26 thereabout. So for you to complete your medical school around 18,
I didn't complete it.
Okay.
No. I dropped out. I dropped out of medical school after the second year. We also have 6 years plus the specialty. When you choose your specialty to be a general practitioner, it's only 6 years, and then you have another 3 years. And then if you want to become a surgeon, it can go up to 10, 12 years. But after the second years, when we started the practice and when I started to get into the hospital and just get out of the books, I just realized that I hated it. So at the end of the second year, I dropped out.
Okay. I now get you. So from the onset, you had a greater picture where you needed your financial freedom, and you also didn't want to work under people. Like you didn't want that kind of strictness. You wanted to be free to explore.
That's it. Because I'm telling you, I started at a humble beginning. So I started working even in the summer and outside my studies.
Okay.
When I was 16 years old, I was delivering pizzas. I was working in the market. I was working in some factories. My older brother was helping me to get those jobs. So very simple jobs to try to make money to be able to afford to pay for my studies. So I already had a great idea of what was the workforce and where I wanted to be and where I didn't want to be. And the medical world wasn't for me.
Okay. So did Forex trading come in mind, or did Forex trading or online Forex trading inform your decision for switching from medical school to the finance field?
Yeah, at that time, I had a couple of friends, so some of them were doing medicines and they were older than me. They were like friends of my brothers, and one of them was a doctor. And I didn't like how he was showing his job, and I didn't like anything about what he was doing. But others were in business, and some of them had simple business like shops or whatever. And one of them was in finance also, and was telling me about trading and other businesses like import, export. I need to resonate it to me, and this is what I wanted to do. So,
so in which year was this?
It was in 2008. 2008 when I switched from medicine to even before 2000. It was around 2008 when I switched from medicine to business school, and this is where I started to trade. Start to trade Forex and learn about it back in 2008. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm inspired by your background, like the introduction or something about yourself, because for you to make such a decision at a tender age, where you were not providing for yourself, like you were not providing for yourself, your parents were providing for you, and you being able to say, no, I've stopped the medical school, I want to go get into finance and all. It's a bold decision, which is not easy to come by. I'm inspired by that.
Well, to be honest, because I'm telling you, I had to work also to pay for my studies, and I was seeing those guys from medical school, even after 6 years of studies, 7 years of studies, they were still broke. They were still studying at 25, 26 years old. And my friend who was doing business started very young, from 20 years old, and 25 years old, already had a car, already had a house, already was helping his family. So I found that more interesting than being stuck at school and at medical school for the next 10 years. Being broke, I just wanted to get out of it as soon as possible. So,
indeed, you're a martial trader. Indeed, because that's some harsh decision. Quick one, your name again?
My real name.
Yes.
My real name is Nordin. And in Arabic, because it's Moroccan, it's Noureddin, but in French we say Nordin.
Okay, Noureddin. So in French say Nordin. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much for sharing your background with us, and I think it's going to help us in the conversation. Quick one. When did you start Forex trading?
Back in 2008, when I switched to business school, I was trading on the side, learning, starting in the demo account. And when I moved to the UK to do the bachelor and master's degree, this is where I took it seriously. So every chance I got, I was studying, I was working as well. I was working in the Hilton Hotel. And I was a waiter there, I was a concierge, I was parking the cars. And when I was not working, I was working full time. I was the only student there. There were about 150 students in the program, and I was the only one working full time because I had to pay for my studies, and I didn't want to take a loan. So I was working, always my books with me, always my mobile with me. And I remember that time the mobile were not like the same as now, but the BlackBerry just came out. So I bought a BlackBerry. I felt like a king. I felt like a trader. I felt like a boss. I was receiving the news, the fundamental analysis, but it was very, very basic. It was a lot of reading, a lot of practice, and this is when I started here.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Who mentioned to you? What was the first broker you used?
The first broker that I used seriously, because I wouldn't remember. I used to broker at that time was FX Pro and Alpari. Alpari, I think, was the first one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alpari. Yeah. I know of them and FX Pro. That's great. That's great. And how are your mates seeing you? Or they were also into forex trading? Or
No, not at all. The guys, they were just studying. They didn't know what they wanted to do, and they just wanted to find a job. But I was the only one. And it's just afterwards, because you forget about it. You're in your routine. You work a lot. You study a lot. So it was only like 5 years, 10 years later that I speak to them on Instagram, and they said, "I cannot believe you always, busting our head, telling you wanted to become a trader, and now you made it."
Yeah.
But I was only thinking about this. I wanted to become a trader. I liked the lifestyle.
Oh, okay.
And I love the pressure. And I didn't know if I wanted to become independent trader or trader in a kind of company as well. But I just wanted to trade, basically.
Yeah, to have that freedom and do your own time.
Yeah.
Right. That's nice. Yeah. So if I understand very clear, what motivated you more to start forex trading is when you started the medical school. When you look at those who have completed and those who are still in there, you were not seeing any improvement in their finances, and you liked the lifestyle of your other friends who were doing business or who were trading, and then that informed.
Yeah, that
was a motivation.
Definitely, that's two things that they work together. It's financial freedom in general, because even if in medical school they might have ended making a lot of money, they were never free. You always had somebody above you telling you what to do. You are responsible for certain targets. You have a lot of duties, but as a trader, you have as well a real freedom. You don't have somebody telling you what to do, when you have to work, where you have to work. So you are not only financially free, even if you at the beginning you don't make that much money, but nobody's telling you what to do. And because I started being passionate about trading,
Right.
First time when I went to Argentina, I loved it. Then went to different country, went to UK, another country, and this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to have the freedom, not only financially, but the freedom to travel where I wanted to go, work wherever in the world.
Yeah. I get the picture now. I understand that perfectly. So what are some of your challenges starting this Forex trading business? What were some of your challenges then?
The challenge is, before becoming martial trader, this is what helped a lot my mindset. The biggest challenge was the mindset, because basically you have ups and downs, and you have to be very careful on your psychology. So at the beginning, when I was losing, I felt like the biggest loser, and I wanted to drop. I wanted to stop. I thought it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And then after a while, through discipline, through perseverance, I started to do well, and I became overconfident, and then it hit me back. So I think that these are the two biggest challenges. The number one challenge is not to give up, but the second one is also not to become overconfident. As soon as you make a little bit of money, as soon as you become independent, to think that's it, you become a trader and you're never going to have losses.
Yeah.
Because losses will always come. You just need to manage them and to get over it.
Yeah.
And if you start to become confident because the first time that you make a little bit of money, you say, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Then you come crashing down, basically.
Yeah. I can relate to that as well, because sometimes you make profit in some trades and you feel that kind of euphoria that you are even invisible. You can do everything, like you are smarter than the market, especially when you start having profits like in series. And like you said, you shouldn't be overconfident, because definitely losses will come, but yours is to make sure that you manage it and you keep them simple and short, right?
Exactly.
Right. So those are the two key challenges that you had from the beginning.
Yeah, that's it. That was mainly it, because I think you need to really take the time, not look for shortcuts. And there are a lot of small challenges. These are the biggest challenges. The small challenges and the small issues is not to look for shortcuts, not to listen to somebody to convince you that they just found a magic robot, because I went through a lot of robots, lots of EA, lots of different trading strategies. But what brought me back to the martial strategies that I thought, wait a second, if I'm going to the boxing gym and I see somebody, I didn't see him fight, and he's telling me you should fight like this, like that, like this, why should I listen to him? I didn't even see him fight. It wouldn't make no sense.
Yeah.
If you want to become a boxer, you have to see the guy with the black belt, you have to see the guy with the title, and you have to copy him first. You have to learn from him. Don't think that you are better than anybody and you're going to have your own trading style. You need to look for some models to follow. And this is where I changed my mindset, and I said, I'm just not going to listen to anybody who comes with some magic robot, and I'm going to give it the hard work, the time that it needs, and learn from my mistakes. It's important, and don't become overconfident, and have the right mindset as well to stay humble even when I start to make good money. So this was the biggest challenge for me.
Wow. I do appreciate that. I can relate to that a lot, because from my beginning, I had a lot of losses, and then, like you're saying, it has also got to do with looking out for the holy grail strategy where you wouldn't make a loss, and then you see robots online, people market fake things, scammers all over the place. But like you're saying, if you do it over a period of time, that is going to also open your mind, and then also let you know what the market is really about. It's about like pattern recognition and probabilities. And when there's a probability, you have to know how to manage your risk, because probabilities means it's not 100% sure.
Exactly.
I can relate to that perfectly. Quick one. So, when did you make a loss that you will never forget, or what's the huge loss that you've ever incurred in your trading that nearly got you or broke you?
I'm by the beach. It's a bit windy. Let me get to the shade a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me move a little bit. I think it's gonna be better. Yeah. Now it's better.
Now it's better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
So
the question is,
what I was saying.
The question is, what's the
biggest loss?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the biggest loss was related to the biggest profit. At the point of time when I made a really big profit, I thought that's it, I'm done. I made a lot of money, I can start spending it and I can start doing whatever I want, and I didn't follow my strategy anymore. I thought I can do whatever I want and recover anymore. And this is where I crashed.
Okay.
I crashed that account in the following month, and it really destroyed me. And this is where I really thought that I should give up.
So hold on.
Yeah, I transformed that account. Yeah.
Okay, quick one. How much did you grow your account to? And how much did you blow? Like, how much did you lose at the point?
It was a very big blow for me. I mean, I grew up the account in about 5 to 6 months from $1,000 to $20,000, and then I blew it in the following month.
In 6 months?
In 6 months, I made it, and I blew it in 1 month.
I can feel the pain in your voice. In 6 months,
in
6 months, you grew it from 1,000 to 6,000.
Yeah, at that time, I was with my girlfriend, which is now my wife and the mother of my children. And I as soon as I made this 20,000, I told her, look, I made 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 3, 3 to 5, and in the last month I made like 15 to 20,000. So it was like 5,000 in a month. You don't need to work. I'm going to continue to grow the account.
Okay.
And she was like, wait, you need to be patient. Make sure this is the first time you make this type of profit. So already she had a better psychology than me. That's why it's important to surround yourself with people who can calm you down.
Yeah.
And sometimes the best one can be your wife or can be your girlfriend. If you're not gonna have a girlfriend who's gonna say, yeah, let's go and spend it in the club and travel.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, that's why she's my wife today. On the other hand, telling me, no, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
You need to continue do it more. And I was like, don't worry, by next month, this 20,000 is gonna probably be 30 and 50. And then it became like $500. So I just proved her right.
Yeah.
And it was devastating because it was not only concerning me, because I made her the promise that now we're gonna be sorted.
Yeah.
And it was such a big achievement. I thought, that's it. It's the first time that I make this type of money. I made it. So it trashed me quite a lot.
Sorry about that.
All right, it was a while. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've recovered a little bit since.
So how did you? How long did it take you to come back into the market again? And how did you fund your account again?
I had a break and like 1 month, something like that. About 1 month, I had a break. I didn't touch anything, and then I came back healthy. And I wanted to study during this month what led me to make this mistake. Okay. And basically that was pure overconfidence. I had a strategy that was working well. Okay. And the number one mistake I did was overtrading, because this strategy that I had was opening like 2-3 positions every week, waiting for the best moment. And when I had the money, the biggest mistake that I have done is that when the money was small, I was focusing on the trade and the performance. And when the money became big to me, I was focusing on the money. Let's say I was waiting for a good opportunity and I said, this trade is going to give me 50 pips. Now, when I had the 20,000, I was saying this trade is going to give me $1,000. And this is the biggest mistake that you can do, is focus on the money instead of focusing on the performance and the performance of your trading and the pips and your stop loss and your take profit. I was like, I don't need stop loss anymore. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to make this $1,000. Sit by the pool, close, and I make like a salary in 1 month. Yeah. And then when I was losing $1,000, instead of saying I lost 5%, I'm going to count down. Yeah. I was like, shit, I lost $1,000. I need to recover it. So I was getting into that revenge trading, which I've never done before. And this is why I multiplied the account. Whenever I had a bad day, I didn't turn this 1,000 into 20,000 without making any losses. So maybe from 4,000 was going back to 3, then go up to 6. But when I was reaching, let's say, my 5% or 10% drawdown, I had my rules on a wall. And when I had my daily drawdown or my monthly drawdown, I was stopping. But then I didn't stop it because I just wanted to. I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept being long anymore. And I stayed stuck with the money. And basically that was a good lesson.
Yeah,
that was a good lesson.
Which is really going to help in a long way, But some of these lessons don't come easily. Sometimes someone will tell you, but you wouldn't even pay attention to it. Like you're saying, you feel good, like you feel oh, I'm very good, I can do all of those things. But until it happens to you, and then it causes some change in your state of mind, that is when you try to do something else. Because for me, for instance, I made losses, like series of losses, from scalping to whatever. So later I got to know that no, the lot sizing was too huge, one, and the lot sizing was huge, and then also the time frames. I wasn't really looking out for any other serious thing in the time frames. But when I kept on losing, I realized that no, something has to be done. And when I reduced the lot size, I realized that if you place even a lot size of 0.01 on a standard account, you can make, let's say, $100 or $200. Initially, I was thinking a lot size of 0.01 can never make me even $100.
Yeah.
I didn't see it that way, and I hadn't even tried it before. But when things were getting serious and dangerous, I was like, oh, okay, let me try this and see. And it worked. So I was like, oh, so all this while, why was I even doing big lot sizes and all of that? And that changed almost everything. Okay, the mindset and the way I put the money. So yeah, I can relate to the struggles. I understand. Thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Quick
one. Yeah. So the next one is what's the profit that you made that you would also never forget?
The biggest profit is the one who really helped me to become 100% independent, and that's why I never speak on robots, because it was through a robot. But you have to be very careful with the robots. It was when I got into high frequency trading back in 2014 and 15. I turned a $500 account. I'm gonna tell you later. I really don't like to talk about numbers, because the numbers, they don't mean anything. The performance means nothing. If you make 100% with $1,000, is more important for me than if you make 10% with $100,000. Why? Because if you're a good trader and you make good performance, in the future you can manage the account. You can become a portfolio management, and you will end up trading big account and make big money. But if you make very small profit, even with a big account, there is nothing guaranteed that you're going to be managing big funds, or you will end up having big funds in the future. So, but at the beginning, since I was not doing that and I was not managing anybody's funds, it was my own money. I had a friend who was getting into high frequency trading, and he was missing something. So we got into that bout. We analyzed it for some time and managed to find a way to make it profitable through a lot of testing and a lot of. And then when it worked, we turned $500 in 1 year and a half into about $300,000.
Wow! Hold on. Your friend was developing the robot.
Yeah.
And then he had challenges, so you went in to help him.
Basically my friend, I'm sorry if you listen to, I'm by the beach and people are playing volleyball and beach volley. I tried to get out of the bar which was playing music, but anyway. So my friend was a kind of really geek programmer, was programming different robots, and basically we became friends. We found each other in a forum. That's why community is very important. And even back in 2012, it was not as developed as now, so we were going into different forums, and then we met this friend and we were talking and exchanging experience. And then he told me that he was developing these robots and high frequency trading. I didn't know nothing. I knew about scalping, but high frequency trading, closing position in milliseconds, was not so popular. So he was testing it, and he couldn't find. He knew he had something, but he couldn't find a way to make it profitable. So I got into the analysis side, because I was more the trader, he was more the developer, and together we managed to make it work. I was telling him, you need to reduce this, you need to cut those pairs because the spread is too high, so you're not able to. So we made a lot of analysis and we made it work. And we were trying, with $100, $200, making tests, losing $50, losing $20, and then once with the $500 became $5,000, $10,000. We knew we had something, but we still didn't go too crazy about it. That's why it took time. We could have went more aggressive. but I wanted to learn from my mistake and don't get too comfortable. So even when the balance was 50,000, I didn't increase the volume like mad, because also when you increase the volume, you might have more slippage, the spread might get higher. So then it was making it less profitable. So we had to stay under the limits.
Okay.
So the robot works, and we made it happen for about 1 year, 1 year and a half. This is, and then once it turned into 300,000, brokers started to prevent themselves a lot and started to add a lot of slippage and delayed execution. So it became less profitable. We were still making profit, but sometimes it wouldn't work for 1 month. You needed to switch broker. But at that time, this is where I made the most exciting profit.
And so quick one. That's when you made that profit. That is when you now changed from using the robots to trade manually, or you continued using the robots?
I continued using them.
Like you're saying, you made use of losses, and then at a point you decided to hold on, and then you met a friend in one of the forums who was also a very good programmer. So he was developing a program or a robot, and then you decided to join him and then help him with the technical bit of it, like the strategies, take this out and all of that, until it became a very good, let's say, a very good robot to be used. And from there, you decided to invest $500, and then the robot grew the $500 to $300,000. Yeah, that's where we got to. And quick one, which broker were you using then?
I was using different ones because we couldn't put all the trades in one broker, otherwise it wouldn't work. So we had to keep the volume low. So we were using four or five brokers at that time.
Okay. I think I get it now. So when that happened, did you get into manual trading right away? Like, did you decide to trade on your own right away, or you decided to hold on a bit and then continue using the robots, or you stopped using the robot?
So when we were using the robot, we had a lot of back and forth. It was not, we found that you always had to fix the robot. Sometimes it was not working, so you had to change the parameters. Sometimes some pairs were not working anymore. But overall, the robot was not taking too much of our time, because it was working well when there was volatile time. So let's say you had an F1C, you had an NFP, you had an ADP. You were turning the robot on and then you were turning it off. So we had like 2-3 days a week, and about 10-15 minutes of trading each day. So the rest of the day, we had nothing to do. So this is where we're talking a lot with him and a couple of other friends about trading and manual trading and testing other strategies. So I never stopped manual. But since now I had some money to invest, I put a bigger capital, and this is where I started to try different strategies. And at the beginning, because my mind was still in the robot and technical, I was using a lot of indicators. And this is where I met another friend of mine, a trader who was doing price action. And this is why I got into price action, or naked charting. So only looking at the chart and only looking at the candlesticks, and not adding moving average and oscillators and all those things. So I started to reduce the indicators. I didn't have bad strategies, but they were not really good manually. But when I got into price action, this is where things got serious, and I got my best performance. And until today, I'm still only trading using price action.
Oh, okay. So you stopped using the robots you stopped using the robot, and then you got into using the price action, and that has been it.
So like 2014-15, when we stopped using, and for about 1 year, I was testing different strategies using a lot of indicators and scripts. But for about 1 year, and then I met this friend, and for the next year, about 2016-17, I started to get into price action, and then I never left this type of trading. I never got interested into too much indicators anymore.
Wow, that's impressive. Well, if you've gone through the mail, like from, starting from the school, blowing your accounts, growing it from $1,000 to $20,000, and for 6 months, and then blowing it in the next month. That's something you might not be able to forget about it. You will be over it, but forgetting about it, I don't know. But it's an experience. It's something memorable. And then you decided to have a friend, like, get into a partnership with a friend, develop a robot where you had some money, growing account from $500 to 300,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that is good. And then you now decided to stop using the robot because it wasn't consistent. You decided to now get into raw price action and then do the trading from that end.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, this friend, he gave me an amazing advice. He was like, and this is the one that I'm gonna say today. At that time, he shocked me. He was like, how much time you spend looking at the chart? And I said, I don't know. I spend a couple of hours a day. And he said, what do you look? I look at this indicator, look at this indicator. And he said, I'm not telling you how much time you spend looking at the indicators, how much time you spend looking at the chart. You are hiding your chart behind indicators, and you don't even look at the chart anymore. All you look is the indicators and the moving average cross and the MACD and the Fibonacci's and the Ishimoku. But all of this is hiding the truth, which is the chart.
Okay.
So the oscillators are, if you know how to use them, good for you. But they will put a mask in front of what the real trading is. And then his real advice was like, do you like movies? I said yes. Did it ever happen to you that you watch a movie and you feel like you know what's going to happen? Yeah. Like, for example, you see a horror movie and you say this guy's gonna get killed, or you see an action movie and you say this is gonna happen. And I say yes, of course, it happens a lot of times. He's like, why do you think this is happening? Because you watched a lot of movies.
Okay.
And because history repeats itself, you tend to know this scenario and you associate it with another scenario. So basically, the moral of this story is that you should look at the chart like you're watching TV. Put it on your TV and watch it for hours without even trading, and spend hours looking at the chart naked. And then one day, when you're going to trade, you will have a feeling of the market, what's going to happen, just like what you feel when you watch a movie. And then when you start to have this feeling, this is when you know that you start to understand and read the market.
Yeah.
So basically, this is what I did. I connected my laptop. I was watching at my laptop by the bed, or I was connecting it to the TV and watching for hours the chart, switching from focusing on few pairs, gold, euro, dollar, and looking at them for hours until I was looking at them. And sometimes I said, now, even without the fundamentals or whatever, now I have the feeling that the price is going up now, because it's happening on the time when you have this kind of resistance, and it hit it a couple of times, and then the market was flying up and I was feeling good.
Yeah.
So it happened a lot, and I start also to keep those things in a journal, and filling up a journal to organize my ideas. So I always had a journal with me, writing down my ideas, writing down what feeling I had for the market.
Yeah.
And basically through the time, this is how I use price action, with the feeling, with the gut feeling that I had from watching the chart for a very long period of time into making my decision in trade.
Wow. This is insightful. What I would say is, because of our time, I know that we are going to have series of episodes like with you, because you are delving into something that a lot of traders need to also be in tune with, and which we need. I'm sure we need maybe another episode to talk more about that, because per what you are saying, it has got to do more with psychology and then strategy as well. Because what your friend said was a way to change your mindset and the approach to the market, how you see the market, and then you also try practicing it in a price action. And I really appreciate that. We are going to definitely have like different episodes where we will be talking about them. But but before we go, what strategy are you using now? And what's the moral? Like, what would you want to share about your strategy with us? Is it maybe the time frame you use, or support and resistance, or just raw charts? You pick up your tops and bottoms. Like, what are you using now? How's your trading like? So the strategy that I'm using now is not really a strategy, it's my strategy. By analyzing the market with my own eyes, I became the indicator. I don't use the indicator. My gut feeling and my brain is the indicator. And I look at multi-time frames. So because I'm day trading, I look at the 1 hour, I look at the M15 for a bit of precision, and I look at the daily for the overall trend.
I like to look at the breakouts because this is where the action is happening. So when a support is being tested a couple of times and you feel that the breakout is going to happen, this is when I'm because so many times if a support is being touched a couple of times, you think a breakout is going to happen. But it doesn't happen. Then you have a pullback, and then you just have to wait, or maybe you're going to have a reversal. But when you really start to know the market, you never miss those breakouts. You don't open the position when you will have a pullback because you know that now the pullback is going to happen. And mostly in the pair. So I look at euro dollar, sterling dollar, dollar yen, for example, all the pairs that are correlated with the dollar. I might look at all the different yen pairs. And when I see a strong correlation and a breakout about to happen with all of them, this is when I enter the market. And I don't trade every single day. I look at the chart every day, but I can be sitting for hours and doing something on the side and having the chart on my screen and waiting for that perfect breakout to happen so I can hit that close to 100% success ratio. Like when I know that the trade is gonna hit, then it will hit. But even if it touches the stop loss, is not an issue because I will be way above 90% success ratio, and the breakout is actually gonna happen.
Wow, interesting. So what I just got from the this conversation is you are a day trader.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not that you trade every day. You just wait for the right opportunity, but your chart is almost on every day.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you look out for your breakouts in the daily time frame, and then you use the M15, which is the 15 minutes for your entries and all of that.
Yeah, I look at the H1 is my main time frame. The daily is to look at the main weekly trend.
Okay.
But the main time frame is the H1, and then when I see that something interesting is happening, then I just make it more precise with the M15 to try to enter at the best time. So when my trade is perfect, in that 15-minute candle is going to touch the take profit. Or if not, it will be a couple of hours. But I really try to close within one day. I will have rarely trade open in a few days.
Oh, okay. Wow, this has been a very great section, which I really appreciate. But I know you are a busy man. For you to be a day trader, you spend more time with your charts. So for us to steal these minutes from you, it really means a lot to us, and we really appreciate. So.
My pleasure, brother.
Well, your name sounds like someone who is aggressive in the market. Is it that you are aggressive in the market, or you take away a lot of pips, like you're no nonsense trader?
I go for the knockouts. I don't go for the 12 rounds.
Exactly. I like that.
This is what I do.
Right.
I keep a martial state of mind. I just go for the knockout.
Right. We really appreciate your time, and then thank you very much for this opportunity. We will get back for another episode so that we get more in tune and then more detail. Thank you very much.
Anytime. Take care.
All right.
Bye, Costa. See you.
Sure. Bye.
Make it juicy.